this morning that I want to share with you guys because I learned so much in this meeting. And going into the meeting, I kind of knew that I was going to get a lot of good information, but when I started thinking about it on the way home, I don't think a lot of other people would expect me to get great information. Here's what I'm talking about. So this is your standard organizational chart, right? So CEO's at the top, and you've got all the vice presidents, CFO, the C-suite folks, right? Those are right under it. And then as you go down the ladder, this is a typical organizational chart. Well, this morning, I didn't meet with this guy. This morning, I met with this guy. Why is that important? Well, this is a guy that I actually knew before he came to work for this company. So he came to work for this company. I wanted to catch up with him. We went to breakfast. We had a great breakfast together. And we had occasion to talk about business. But here's the thing. Every single week, once a week, I meet with this guy at the same company. So why did I learn so much more from this person who is not in the C-suite, not running the company? They're in the trenches day in, day out. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they see what happens on a day-to-day basis a lot more consistently than the business owner does or the CEO does. The CEO is flying at such a high level, they really don't have the consistent day in, day out look at business processes and how business processes are working in the office, which ones are working, which ones aren't. So from an operational level, you're going to learn a lot more from the folks who are further down the org chart who are in the trenches day-to-day operationally. But here's the other interesting insight that I learned, or that kind of occurred to me after this meeting, and I was driving back to the office and thinking about it and why I wanted to talk about it in this video. So I think that when you're talking about moving from here up and possibly one day being the CEO of the company, not saying that's going to happen in this case, it could. He's a very smart young man, doing great things. He certainly has the potential to move up in the organization. But when I think about what makes this possible, what makes this movement possible, and what is going to keep some people down in the lower levels of the org chart where they're more operational, when I think about what's the difference between the person who moves up and the person who just stays put, I think it comes down to three things. Those three things are skills, experience, and ambition. So it could be that the person is here because they don't have the skills to move up the ladder. Now, skills are learned. Skills are actually a function of experience. You can learn the skill with enough experience. So experience may be tied very closely to skills, but let's say that you do have the skills to manage, but you don't have experience in the particular industry. You're going to stay at the bottom. But the thing that's going to keep you at the bottom is a lack of ambition. If you have ambition and you don't have skills and you don't have experience, but you do have ambition, you will get the experience, you will learn the skills, and you'll be able to move up. The really interesting thing is which is the group demographically that is in the best position to move up. And it's young people. It's folks like this gentleman that I met with this morning, right? The reason he doesn't have the skills and the reason he doesn't have the experience is because he's young. But what he has in spades is ambition. So I have every confidence that he's going to be able to move up in the organization as time goes along if this is where he chooses to stay. If he moves on to another company or opens up his own company, he will move up that kind of management, greater responsibility, greater risk, greater reward ladder as he goes on because he has the ambition. It's just a matter of time before he gets the experience and the skills. So when you're looking at your organization, I don't want to be ageist here, but as a whole, the group that is most likely to have the ambition but lack the skills and experience, and for those reasons, because they lack the skills and experience, they're at the bottom of the organization chart. They're your youngsters. They're the millennials, right? They're the whatever comes after millennials, if that group's now entering the workforce. I think you can't have older people who lack the specific skills or the specific industry if they're going through a career change, they're going through an industry change, And if they have the ambition, they'll move up the ladder. But when you look at the people who are never going to progress up the org chart, like they're never going to move past where they are right now, it's because they don't want to. It's because they don't have the ambition to. And those people aren't the ones who are kind of always looking out and seeing what's the way they would do stuff. How would they change things? And that's what I really learned this morning from this conversation. That's why it was so insightful. I got to peer into business operations and hear how another person thinks that this could be done more effectively, or this is a question I have. Why has it been done this way? Why has it been done that way? And he has that ambition. He has that drive to move up, but he just lacks the skills and experience. It's only a matter of time until he gets them. But for now, at the bottom of the org chart, in the trenches of operations, what a great resource for the business owner. So if business owners out there, look at your org chart, look at those people who are in the trenches, and look for the ones who have ambition. The only reason that they're currently at the bottom of the org chart is because they lack skills or experience. Eventually they're going to move up. Take advantage of the time that they have now in the trenches of operations to really tap them as a resource and an intelligence aspect of your business, where you can learn what's really going on and what can be done better from a day-to-day perspective. Really, really good resource for you to go to. See you guys tomorrow.